G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the final episode of the toughest rebuild I think on Football Manager, and that is Sheffield Wednesday. So this is episode number 5. We'll get straight into it and let's do a quick recap of the previous episode in case you guys haven't watched it or missed it. We did alright, we got promoted first season into the Premier League and we survived fairly comfortably in the end. 45 points, which I think in general terms to survive the Premier League now you need around about 38 I think it is, but looking at that you only needed 33 for this season, but generally speaking around about the 38 mark, and we got to 45, so I was quite happy with that. But obviously second season syndrome now, it's even tougher. Only played one game so far, and I'll go into the schedule first because I think the scheduling gods have been a little bit unfair to us. Our first fixture of the season, at home to Man City. Brilliant. I freaking love that. But I mean, look at that starting fixture list. City, Liverpool, Newcastle, albeit Newcastle are in the Carabao Cup. Arsenal and West Ham. That's a tough start. I'm not feeling very optimistic about this start of the season, to be fair. But that being said, we have changed a few things in the squad, changed tactics slightly, which I'll show you in a second. Financially wise though, obviously if you watched the first episode, we were about 120 million pound in debt. We're now only 14. I was hoping we'd all be cleared, but for some reason something keeps on sneaking up on us. But either way, it's still looking good. I've got none of my original budget left, but I do believe I got about 45 to 50 million for this one with a good wage budget, so I've managed to adjust it a little bit. We're a little bit overspending, but I'm not bothered because our overall balance is still pretty decent. Transfer wise, it's been a busy one. Very busy one. So if I go to that and have a look at the most recent ones, nope, nothing on there. And if I have a look on the transfers in, yeah, right, okay, so before the tick over, I did a lot of shopping, got my business done quite early. So starting from here, Gonçalo Estevez, for I'd say former, yeah, because he's 23. He's a former wonder kid on this game, and he's still very, very good. He was, for some reason or other, at West Brom, played really, really well over those 3 seasons, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in for him. 14.5 million, can't complain, and yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to do the business for us. Next one is Jean Mateo Bahoya, a player I've never even heard of, but he was at Wolves for 1 season. Wolves got relegated, so he had a relegation release clause of 12.5 million, and I was in there snapping him up straight away. But at the start of the game, he's at Angers, and you know what, actually, as a shadow striker, there's a little hint of what's happening with the tactics. He is very, very good, and he's still very, very young, so I think he looks like he could be the real deal. 2 defenders brought in, because a few defenders have been shipped out. So Leo Verheld, Norwegian centre-back, left-footed, 23 years old, very decent defender, brought in for 9.5 million, been going out on loan a lot since he moved to Leeds. He's developed into a very decent centre-back, so I was quite happy to bring him in. And then I wanted some more left-back cover for Omar Richards, but somebody younger. And Rainy Brainberg, Dutch left-back. Look at that pace and agility. Really good. 22 years old, as I say. Good dribbling, good crossing, good tackling, good physicals and mentals. I'm very happy with that. I think he'll be a good deputy at left-back. But that's not where it ended. So transfers out-wise, let's have a look at the ones that went. So Mikhailichenko wanted to leave, he went. House I wanted to get rid of because of his age, and I thought I'll cash in on him, 4.5 million. Scott Banks, bless him. I wanted to keep him, but I didn't want to change to a winger formation. I wanted to try something different, or keep to something different, so he just didn't stick around. But this guy's still awesome. I think he's brilliant. I really do. Our one season, I say our one season wonder. I don't think he actually played that much, to be fair. Yeah, 7 games. That's, yeah, 7 games all in all that season. Sold him to Saudi Arabia. See you later, Carlos. 1.8 million profit. Can't complain with that. A couple of the youngsters went, including one of the old guys, Chalobah. Johansson went out on loan. Liam Delap, our striker that we got last season, he was upset because he felt he could justify a double his wages contract, and I disagreed. So I told him to bugger off, and he did. So I wasn't too impressed with him because, yeah, okay, he played 1 season with us, but he played 35 games in total and only scored 9 goals. That, to me, isn't justifying a contract which doubles your wages. Not a chance. So jog on. A few more players that did get brought in. By this point, my transfer budget was starting to look a little bit depleted. But I did bring in this guy, and I don't know whether you guys have signed him before. Ismail Doucouré. Wow, what a centre-back he is. Brought him in for 18 million, but there's a few add-ons in there as well. He's at Strasbourg during this game. He did have other teams in for him, like the likes of Liverpool and Man United, but he chose to come to us. Random. That's his choice. He's on 70 grand a week, now worth almost 30 million. Plenty of room to develop, and again, another great ball-playing defender / wide centre-back. So yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to be a good, strong defender for us. Han Noah Masengo, a lot of players who have played FM will know this guy. He was originally at Bristol City, then he's gone to Burnley. Didn't play too much for Burnley. Came on loan to us for 1 season, but basically he's done a Tyler Morton. Came on loan to us. I couldn't bring him back. He went out on loans again to Troyes in France, and then his contract ran out. And as a squad playing midfielder, I was more than happy to take him in. I wanted another goalkeeper because, as you'll see on the transfer centre, Ivan is supposed to be going to Oxford, but I don't know whether there's a bug in the game. This has been sat here for ages, and it's just kind of stopped. So, I don't know. But Carl Rushworth, I think, is actually a really decent goalkeeper. He's got good reflexes, good throwing, good jumping reach, really good mentals, and overall for a 26-year-old goalkeeper, he's good. And he's starts off Brighton, but again got him on a free transfer because his contract ran out. Brilliant. And then one of the OGs of Football Manager, Mohamed Diamande, went from obviously Norgeland, moved to Arsenal for 6 million and hasn't played a single game. I didn't even realise that. Oh no, he's played a couple of cup games and that is it. So what happened there, I do not know, but I got him on loan. And yeah, they fleeced us a little bit. He is coming in for 12.5 million, so they've made a profit on him, but hey ho. But yeah, as another midfield option, I think that's a pretty decent signing. Looking at the squad now, the squad is looking quite well stacked out. I've got a lot of goalkeepers. Good centre-back options, full-back options, midfield options, and striking options as well. I've also got this guy who's come through our youth academy, which, bear in mind, Sheffield Wednesday's youth academy is average at best. I got him through the youth intake a couple of seasons ago, I think it was. Yeah, 2-3 seasons ago. He's done a couple of loan stints at Rotherham and Fleetwood, scored a few goals, done pretty well, and his development has been really, really good. And I'm actually training him as a shadow striker, so I think he'd be really good as a shadow striker. Can't complain at that. And then, yeah, I've looked at the tactics. I've made one slight change. I've gone from a 2 up front to having a shadow striker to accommodate not just Elliot Anderson, but new signing Bahoya, and also, wherever he's gone, Redmond Blot. I mean, it's a hell of a regen name. Yeah, with 1 striker up front. Nothing else has changed, besides having the 2 wide centre-backs now, instead of having 2 central defenders, but we'll see how it works out. As I say, for the rest of the schedule, I've only played one game. I'm going to simulate the season from here because I've done all my transfer business. So, with that being said, I'm going to simulate the season and we'll see what happens. But there we have it, guys. We survived our second season. Woohoo! Now, I did have in the back of my mind, knowing what this game is like, I'd known how I could play it. I was really, really hopeful that we'd nick a European spot. But as you can see, we were way off. Way, way, way off. I mean, what was it? 7th place Arsenal, 73 points. And we were on, what was that? 54. 54 points. So that's more points than we got last season. A couple of places higher. So I still think that's really, really good progress. And if you look at it, the start of the season, like I said, the fixtures that we were getting, it was horrendous. And as I was watching like sort of the simulation being processed, it wasn't looking good. And as you can see from the graph, we were bottom of the league for a good while. And then we just started picking things up again. And our form improved and we managed to claw things back into that mid-table spot. So speaking of that, looking at the schedule, as you can see, there's a lot of red in the first couple of months of the season. I think 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that? Yeah, 4 league wins in the first, what, 10 or so games? 12? That's bad. But then our form turned around. It was around like sort of end of January. We got a win against Leeds. We lost in the FA Cup. Not bothered about that. I wasn't bothered about the cup competitions. The aim of the game for this one was to stabilise Sheff and get him back in the Premier League. That has been achieved, I think. But yeah, then getting a 1-1 draw at the Etihad was even more surprising, and that just catapulted us. 5-0 win at Villa Park. We got battered by Villa last season, and then 3-1 win away. So not only did our home form pick up, but our away form picked up more vitally, and we got a lot more wins. Okay, the last couple of games of the season didn't really matter, but yeah, that really, really helped. Looking at the squad wise though, that was the only issue. Goals. Lack of goals. It was a big problem. Big problem. 14 from Luca. Not good enough. And 14 from Bahoya as a shadow striker, I was quite happy with. That's fine. But I think if I was to continue this on for another season, I wouldn't use Luca up front. I'd sell him and I'd want a pacey striker up front who can finish instead. Luca's good, but he's not as good as he used to be on the game. Other shout-outs, Diamonde played a lot of games, Estevez played a lot of games. A very special shout-out to Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton, what a player this guy is. He may not make it at Liverpool on this game. I'm hoping he does in real life. But he may not make it at Liverpool on the game, but he develops into such a good deep line playmaker. His vision, passing, his first touch, his technique is brilliant, and he can score a free kick every now and then. I mean, he's been at Sheff 3 seasons all in all, so his first loan season, 2 goals, 6 assists, and he played what, 34 games. Not bad. But the 2 seasons he's been in permanently, what's that, 41 games, 10 goals, 7 assists, 5 player of the matches, and 39 games, 8 goals, 7 assists. That's consistent. That is a really, really good player. I absolutely thoroughly recommend getting him, because you can get him on loan or you can get him cheap. And at the time we're recording this, he did just score his first under-21s England goal last night, along with Harvey Elliott scoring 2 as well. So things are looking bright for the Liverpool side. But I digress slightly. So there we have it. Overall, I'm very, very happy with that rebuild. Very happy indeed. I think a good squad has been built. Yes, a few players will be going in and out again if I continued it. But overall, financially wise as well, bank balance, 73 million in the bank. For the next season, almost 60 million in the transfer budget. Debts and loans, hardly any debt left. That's really, really good. So a couple of seasons in the Premier League has really helped things out, and I can't complain of that. Just want to have a look at this guy, Ismail Decore. Didn't do too bad. 43 games this season, so good average rating for his first season in the Prem. So not too bad at all. So I will leave it at that, guys. That is the rebuild complete. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this rebuild or the other rebuilds that I've done, and I'll move on to the next one, which I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. Going to take a little bit of time to think about like sort of what I'm going to do next. But obviously there is also the year-long Tranmere save still going on, and that's going very, very well indeed. So if you haven't seen that, jump onto the channel, have a look at the previous videos, because they are going really, really well at the moment. So please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ta-ra.